Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi to my right, the Swami George Abraham to my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight High School Football. Rushing, Cody Wise of Monotol, 156 yards and a playoff win. Darius Gooseby of Rochester, 152 yards. Vito Pelosi, Slippery Rock High School, 132. He had 221 total yards. He's now 2,000 over on the season. David Duffalo, Slippery Rock High School, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Connor Sellinger of Freeport, 102 yards passing. Zach Rocco, North Catholic, 178. He had 245 total yards. How about his stats for the season, guys? 1,758 yards passing, 474 rushing, 2,232 yards, 24 touchdown passes, and 12 rushing for 36. And he's a junior. He's a big kid, 6'2", about 210, 215. We saw him last year.
Yeah.
Dalen Brickner of Beaver Falls, you know all about him, 113. Tyler Kowalkowski of Mars, 108. And receiving, Nick Mayer of North Catholic, 4 for 74. Tyree Brown of North Catholic, 4 for 56. High school soccer, boys, 4A. Seneca Valley, 5. Norwin, 2. Luke Rupert with 2 goals. Goalie Will Gallagher was strong in the net. The first ever WPL championship for the Raiders. Next up, Seneca Valley 17-2-1. They would take on Hempfield 14-5. And 3A, the runner-up Mars, they will take on Manheim Central. And for the girls, Seneca Valley 2, Peters Township 1. The Lady Raiders, their 5th WPIAL title. And how about the way this one went? They were trailing 1-0 with 3 seconds left.
Wow!
When Brianna Valentovich nailed home a shot to send it into overtime. 3 seconds.
That's amazing.
And Peters Township was away from a championship. And then Lauren Celio ended it on her game-winning shot. You imagine?
No, I can't. I'd have all the players in front of that goal. I'd put them on my shoulder. I'm telling you, there's no way that ball's going in that.
3 seconds. It's like a Hail Mary.
It is a Hail Mary.
That's a tough one.
Yes.
Morgan Sinan of Seneca Valley, she had 5 saves. Next up for the Lady Raiders, they take on Central Dolphin. Girls 2A, District 9, Carn City 1, Brookville nothing on Olivia Rumball's goal. It was the Lady Gremlins' 7th straight district championship. Next up, Villa Maria.
That Seneca still sticks with me. They only had 6 shots. The other team.
Yes.
Yeah.
She had 5 saves. It was 1-1 when it went in.
Yeah, amazing.
Man,
It is.
What a way to go.
Wow, their heart has to be
I don't know. As a coach, you ever
You're not.
The players move on. As
I
a
don't
coach,
think you
I don't know ever.
No, I don't think you. No, you'd just be too numb.
Yes.
You would be. You'd be numb.
High school girls volleyball. This will come as a shocker in 4A. North LA won their 6th WPL championship, 3-0 over Baldwin. Anna Sprice had 10 kills and 5 blocks. Elena Carmody, 5 aces. Next up for NA, 19-0. They take on Erie McDowell. In 3A, Knock, 22-0, won its 2nd straight WPIL title, 3-0 over Thomas Jefferson. Listen to these scores: 25-21, 25-21, and 25-21.
Give Thomas Jefferson credit.
I give him credit.
They're
That's what I mean. Pretty good.
Yeah, they hung right in.
How about that? You give
know
credit to the
good
loser.
You know how good Knock is.
Yes.
So, man.
Hannah Rowe dealing with a troubled knee. You know, we see her. She wears a brace. She had 14 kills. Kennedy Christie had 12. Knocknow's won 46 straight matches. They defend their PIAA title, starting with Elizabeth Forward.
Yeah, everybody's gunning for him, too. Gunning for him, but they're that good.
They're peaking. They're
It won't
really
be
playing
easy.
well.
I mean, to
No,
beat
it
them,
won't
you
be
better
easy.
bring your lunch to beat them. Although, you could tell that would be a rematch. There's nothing wrong with that TJ. 21-21-21.
In 2A, they're saying ring the bell at North Catholic. It was North Catholic 3, Fraser nothing. Fraser upset Freeport in the semifinal games. The first ever WPL championship in volleyball for the Trojanettes. Dominic Felix had 19 kills. Next up for North Catholic, 19-0, District 5, North Star. And Freeport, they will try to regroup against Red Bank Valley. North Catholic, they have a tradition. You only ring that bell they have there if you win a WPL or state championship.
Wow.
And in cross country, NA boys and girls won the PIAA titles to become the first school from the WPIAL to win both boys and girls state titles in cross country. For the boys, it was their 13th state championship. For the girls, it was their 4th state title. They're just going to have to build a whole new complex down there for all their trophies.
I get the giggles because if they started a whatever,
They'd win it.
they'd win it.
But you know why? They go get the best person they could find.
They
The
do
coach.
This is what I'm saying. That's what I noticed down there.
They don't open it up. They
Go get who they want.
Who do we want?
Yeah,
Let's call them.
I'm surprised at their basketball. They're boys basketball.
It is a huge.
Although the competition is really stiff.
The competition is good. It's the one sport they have not won a WPL championship in or state in boys
and
basketball.
it proves what I've said all on the toughest sport to play is basketball. You got natural talent can take over and all those other ones. If I don't care how fast you run.
You better take the ball with you.
Or how high you jump.
And their girls have figured it out. Their girls have figured it out.
They're going for their 3rd straight
They're
WPL
always right.
championship.
And if they're not, they're going to be in the Final Four.
2A boys cross country individuals. Jonah Powell, Grove City High School. He took home the gold with a 1st place finish. He's had an outstanding career in track and cross country.
They've had runners at Grove City. I was there in '84. They've had runners.
You weren't one of them though, were you?
No, but they had runners.
They have
and
runners
They
there.
always have.
I saw George run on the side of the street there by the what was that stone house?
I used to do some
He used to run to the stone house.
Yeah.
Let's
It wasn't
go.
like it was that close to Sudbury Rock. I was tired when I remember calling home for a ride a few times.
Football power rankings, 6A, North Allegheny, still undefeated, 10-0. Pine Richland, Seneca Valley at number 3, Mount Lebanon, and Central Catholic. In 5A, Gateway, Penn Hills, McKeesport, Penn Trafford, and Peters Township. 4A, Thomas Jefferson, South Fayette, Blackhawk, Bell Vernon, and Beaver. And in 3A, it's Grove City, Derry, North Catholic, Aliquippa, and Beaver Falls. 2A, Shadyside Academy, Burgettstown, Wilmington, Charleroi, Washington, and Still Valley tied for 5th. And 1A, Jeanette, Clairton, Rochester, Osh, and Monessen. And things are going to change this week. A lot of these teams are going to be meeting in rematch games. Let's look at some of the top games. In 6A, it's already the semifinals for Pine Richland and NA as they had byes last week. Seneca Valley 8-3 with a great upset win. In a rematch, they beat Central 15-14.
We can't say we're surprised.
No, we're not surprised.
No.
We know how good they are defensively. They're at North Allegheny. They only give up about 8 or 9 points a game. They're at 10-0 NA in a rematch. We will be there. Armstrong will be there to bring you that game. The first game, NA squeaked by 10-6.
And that's the kind of score it's going to be this time too. I'll be shocked if it isn't,
Nah.
because Seneca Valley is going to line up on the line of scrimmage and knock heads with them. They're not going to just like do that. And NA is not a great throwing team. They're decent, but not great. They want to power.
I think for Seneca, you're right. Seneca Valley to have a chance, so they have to rush for somewhere around 150 yards if they're going to have a chance.
They have scored 2 touchdowns. So they get 2 touchdowns, they have a chance to win.
Don't
that's
make
what
it
they
tough.
have a chance.
I would say they can.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Mount Lebanon 6-5 at Pine Richland. Pine Richland following that 27-7 loss against North Allegheny in the conference championship game. They've had time to think about it and regroup. I look for them to come out fired up.
Well, Mount Lebanon is average at best, and it's up to Pine Richland in this game. If they play their best game, they're going on to the finals. Yes.
And in 5A last week, the big upset was Woodland Hills 14-0 over Mars. This is hard to believe. It's the 3rd year in a row that Mars has lost the first round game, and Woodland Hills defense totally shut their running game down.
I'd have to take a step back.
See what's going on.
And examine everything from the first day of summer to game 10 to that, because something's going on when you have the kind of success they have every year.
8-9 games
the
regular
first
season.
playoff game 3 years in a row. Something's going on.
My thoughts on it, and I don't know. I watched Mars practice a couple times. Is they come against some teams they're not used to seeing. That's what I think.
Speed-wise?
Yeah, Woodland Hills.
And they played Woodland Hills at the wrong
Yeah,
time.
they're never normal more than
Do you understand? I like to know who they lost to the last 3 years.
Well,
If they lost to Gateway, they're used to seeing teams that we just run down their throat.
Speed.
And then they see speed like this on the field.
You know, the thing about Woodland Hills, they started off 0-4, and now they're 5-6.
Never count Woodland Hills.
You never count them.
Never.
We said it last week. We said, this could be a tough game.
Yes, we did.
We didn't never think that.
But
Woodland Hills could be 1-9
Mars, like the teams they crushed, they pulverize. They just
on the line of
pulverize.
scrimmage.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I guess that
You're not
didn't
pulverizing Woodland Hills.
Didn't happen there. And the quarterfinals, number 2 Penn Hills versus number 3 McKeesport's an interesting game because Penn Hills likes to throw the ball, and McKeesport's all about running it with the flex bone.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Well, many people going to Penn Hills think they're beat, not McKeesport. They're coming on that
No,
field.
they're not.
They're running the field thinking, we're whooping you, Penn Hills. That's what McKeesport thinks. That's half
Of
the
course
battle.
they are.
Yes.
If they get that flex bone rolling, it's hard to stop.
No, they're not.
They do a
afraid.
great job with it,
They're
too.
not worried down there. That's when they Woodland Hills the same way.
Oh, yeah, same
And,
way.
and McKeesport's confident that they have the guys in the secondary to cover Penn Hills' outstanding
And their
receivers.
idea is to keep the ball on offense.
Number 1 Gateway would take on Franklin Regional. They just slaughtered Kiski last week, 63-7. I don't know if they had well over 300 yards rushing in the game. And in 4A, the semis, Thomas Jefferson undefeated versus Blackhawk 10-1. And here's a game that's interesting: South Fayette 10-1 versus Bell Vernon 9-1.
Yeah, I agree. I would think right now it's going to be Thomas Jefferson and South Fayette.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. Only because there's a tradition. They're there all the time. You just write down their name. Okay, who's?
Didn't Bell
That's
Vernon
it.
1 year to catch
Yeah,
somebody?
Bell Vernon did. They
yellow
did.
turf?
You're right.
They
You're
caught
right.
they caught TJ.
Okay, okay.
And in 3A, Aliquippa 10-1 versus Beaver Falls 9-2. Here's another rematch. The Quips have pretty much pounded the Tigers in the first meeting.
They'll beat them again, and because they get their wake up call against Central Valley. That was one of the best things that could happen to them. Is wait a minute,
Coach
We
got
can be
their
beat.
attention.
Yes,
We're not that good.
yes.
And the other semifinal, Derry 10-1 versus North Catholic 10-1. This is a rematch. Derry won the first one 27-0 and held, this is hard to believe, North Catholic to 83 total yards.
Now that I heard that score, now I know how Derry trounced Central Valley.
Yeah.
Derry must be way
Derry's
better
good.
than
You
anybody
shut out
knows.
North Catholic?
Yes.
How do you hold North Catholic with
That's-
that
you know how good they
offense?
are
Because they
now.
pass
83
and run.
yards.
Yes, they're
Catholic.
really
no,
good.
No, no,
They do both.
That tells me they're good.
Yes.
And District 10 3A, Slippery Rock High School 8-3, 44-3 winner over Harbor Creek. They get a rematch against undefeated Grove City. That's Saturday at Slippery Rock University at 8 p.m. The first game was 33-7 in favor of Grove City. The Rock had 4 turnovers in that game.
Can't do that. They've pushed that game back because the college plays for the championship in
Right.
the afternoon.
So you have Vito Pelosi and Buffalo and Caleb Kamer. If they're all ready to go, they could cause Grove City some problems.
Well,
They
what-
have nothing to lose.
What you
but
said to me
play
though,
loose.
is what you said is really the key. When you're an underdog, and that's what they're going to be. They're going to be a 3-touchdown underdog.
Oh, sure.
Easy.
That you can't turn the ball over once.
No.
You turn the ball, you're done. You have no chance if you turn the ball over.
No, the Grovers are high tech.
Yes.
They pass and run. And as Albert said, what's changed, we've called for Grove City forever,
Uh-huh.
their defense.
In a game like that, a team like Slippery Rock, I think you cast all caution to the wind and just play open.
For sure.
And do the 4th and 1 at midfield. Go for it
Every time.
Every time.
Every
Just
time.
play loose.
Onside kick to anything you can because you're going in not
If
not.
it's normal, you lose.
Oh, yeah. If the game says anywhere normal, right, George?
Exactly. I
And
get
the
it.
2A quarterfinals, they may need 2 scoreboards for this game. Wash High 10-1 versus Steel Valley 9-1. There may be 80, 90 points scored in this game.
Yeah, I have a feeling there will be some dances in the end zone.
Remember last year they came up to Slippery Rock to play Wilmington. I think it was first 1 to 50.
It was. They both kept scoring.
I think it was 47-41 Wilmington.
something like that,
Yeah,
yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
And here are 2 more good games. 1A in semis, Jeanette 11-0 versus Rochester 10-1, and Clareton 9-1 versus Olsh 10-1. I like Olsh in this game. I like an Olsh Jeanette championship.
You know, Rochester's going to interest me in this one. So they're
Good running
I'm
backs.
going to find out because they can really run the football. See if they can hold the ball away from Jeanette.
I'm just going by Jeanette pretty much shut down Clareton's running game the first time
Yes,
they
they
played.
did. Oh, Jeanette's the favorite. Jeanette's the favorite. Yes.
You know, Jeanette, as you said, and there's history there in those games. Boy, those are outstanding
Jeanette's
games.
going for their second straight state
With
championship.
Farrell down the road.
I'm
Farrell
calling for a
down the
whooping
road.
there. I'm calling for a whooping there.
Yeah.
I'm calling for a Farrell whooping over Jeanette. I'm called that one out
Well,
about five weeks ago. I did.
You know all about Farrell. Our stories of the week, the NFL. How about James Conner? His 4th straight 100-plus rushing game. He had 107 yards rushing, 56 receiving. The Steelers 23, the Ravens 16. The Steeler defense really looked good. They held the Ravens to 268 yards, just 61 rushing. I think for the Steelers 5-2-1, this was their most complete game. They dominated the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball.
If you remember, put our whole shows on. George said 3 weeks ago, man, what got into the Steeler defense? I have no idea.
It's
they
the
were
same
so
guys. It's
bad,
the same dude.
and they're playing
They
so
were
much
bull
better.
rush. That Hayward,
Hayward,
he pushed this dude back, Eddie. I swear to God, he lifted him right into Facco's face. Then the next time he lifted him again and two attacked him.
And what you're saying is the key. That's why they're better, by the way.
Pass
They're
rush.
getting the pass rush.
You get the pass
You get the
rush.
pass rush. They all look
Covers
normal.
long.
They all look normal.
Yeah.
You need to now. Those two guys previous years, Hayward and Tuitt, didn't always play together. One was injured, then the other one was healthy, and vice versa. They need those two
I never
guys
seen a
to
guy
stay
bull
healthy.
rush like that. These other guys are big too. He was lifting them up.
I really believe that. And you tell me this. I don't watch every play. I watch a lot of plays. George sees every play. Getting Burns out of there has made a difference too.
Oh,
That's how
yes.
bad
Oh,
he was.
oh,
I mean,
yes.
he was so
He
pathetic.
can't play.
If they keep him off the field, I'm so happy.
He can't play. And the dude running back the punt from Carolina.
Yeah, little guy. I know.
He's not spectacular, but man, is he solid.
Yeah, and that's all you want. You want to
He
catch
is
the ball and get
solid.
yards. That's what you want
Albert,
to do.
Ryan
that's
Switzer.
what he does.
Switzer, yeah.
That's
Switzer.
what he does.
Since the Ravens have beat the Steelers the first time, 26-14, they've gone 1-4, and the heat has really turned up. I'm saying this 4-5. Their chances of making the playoffs, they give them about a 20% chance. The offense has just fizzled out. I don't think Harbaugh or Flacco will be there next year.
You know what's interesting? We know about the high school curse. That was the Eddie curse. I remember sitting there, man. Look out the
Ravens,
ball.
no one can beat them.
They're really going to
Two
be
new
good.
receivers.
You cursed
Their
them.
defense.
You cursed
Hey,
them to the nth
hey, I'm gonna
degree
make a
because they were
prediction.
playing so great
I'm
early in
gonna
the
go
year.
out on a
Remember?
limb- I'm going to go out on a limb here. Harbaugh's fired. A week later, he's the coach of the Browns.
Well, I think that's going to definitely happen.
Wouldn't be a surprise.
That wouldn't be a surprise. I think it would definitely happen. I mean, he's so well respected in
The
the
only
league.
thing is, they said the guy's taking over for Ozzie Newsome loves him.
Okay.
I did hear that.
Okay.
Le'Veon Bell, if he doesn't report by this Saturday the 10th, he will lose season credit, so he should be rolling into Pittsburgh sometime before. He can't play this Thursday night when the
Right.
Steelers play Carolina. The Steelers favored by 4 in that game, but if he doesn't come in, he's already lost, $8 million, $9 million.
he'll be-
If he comes in by the 10th, he can still save about $6 million, and he gets credit for this year.
I'm one of the few, and I mean I'm one of the few that likes Tomlin. Most of them don't like him. I think he's done the greatest job handling the situation. You understand? The team has bought in totally. So what? He's not here. Some coach has been talking about him every week.
No.
Thomas, I don't want to talk about
No,
him.
he said he had
I don't want to talk about
He finally
him.
addressed it. Did you hear his line? The best line ever. Is we don't want volunteers.
And
Yeah, it's hostage. I said about hostage.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
he's
We want
inspired
volunteers,
Connor.
no hostages.
Yes.
He's inspired Connor, and ironically now, Connor, Le'Veon won the big contract. After next year, Connor keeps doing this. He's going to win the big
But he's
contract.
gonna get it, though.
He's going to get it.
He's gonna get it.
because he's not going to ask for 15
Yeah, he's not going to ask what they wanted.
He's
He
going to
would
get
have
7
paid
or
for
8
two
million.
guys.
Yeah,
He
yes.
would have paid for. How about his numbers? They're way better.
I am
Longer
the most,
runs.
I'm the happiest
Longer
guy in the
runs.
world.
More
Longer runs.
And his
And-
durability.
And his one weakness about catching the ball is catching the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, he's caught every pass.
Oh, he snags them too.
Yes.
He doesn't catch them like they're an accident.
How about when you could see remember these are pros. He's in high school. They rally around him like he's what was that? Those little books we used to read when I was little.
Chip Hilton, All-American.
Yeah, he's Chip Hilton. I mean, they're hugging him and
He reminds me of John Riggins. He reminds me of Jim Taylor, who
He's
died
230
recently.
pounds, isn't he?
He's just, right. Riggins was 240.
I think
He
he's
runs like those
235.
guys.
Hey,
Amazing.
Jerry DePaulo tells the story of when he was getting his chemo, going to practice, jumping in a drill, running over, putting his head in a bucket and running. They loved him at Pitt too.
he threw up. Yes.
Well, how about the Saints 45, the Rams 35? Last
Oh.
Sunday, I came close to being a mannequin between the Steelers and then the Saints and Rams game, the first loss for the Rams. But we said that last week. 39-year-old Drew Brees, how about the contrast there? He throws for 346 and 4 touchdowns. 23-year-old Jared Goff, he threw for 391 and 3 touchdowns.
But as I say, you heard me say it on here. But also guys like Chip Hilton, the guy from San Francisco, he plays his first game. He throws for 3. So it doesn't matter.
Murray.
Stats means 0.
Mullen.
And Mullen. Yeah,
Mullen.
Mullen. You understand?
You know what
Anybody. I wish I could play. If I was good enough,
Yeah.
I'm going to play.
You
I
know
want to
what
come
I
back as an
know?
NFL
You know what
quarterback.
sticks out for me in that? I watched that game. Then I ended up watching Brady in the third game with
Packers.
Rodgers. But let me say this. You know what sticks out for me and all that? What a bad coach Jeff Fisher was.
Terrible. No,
They couldn't gain a yard.
He made things personal. He made that kid miserable.
Yeah.
He destroyed his confidence
Must
his rookie
have.
season.
He must
instead,
check
instead
him
of
off.
bringing him along.
Yeah.
Everything bad about it, he did it.
He did it.
Yes, no question.
No,
about
they
it.
have added a bunch of guys on.
Yeah, but
defense.
still, but you're
Oh.
right though. It doesn't look like the same team.
Hey,
at all.
Breeze. He's like
He's a
Brady's
great
like he
player.
found a fountain of youth. Was he
Boy,
38?
They get the home. He's 39. They get the
39?
home field advantage
Yeah.
in the dome.
I heard the schedule today. Listen to their last three: Carolina, Pittsburgh, Carolina.
I heard that too.
It's tough.
That's tough. But they have two
But
of
they're
them
good
at
at
home.
home. You know,
They
normally-
have two of them at home.
And I'll tell you what, though, they're not the same in the road. I don't want them at the Rams.
Nobody
good as
does.
they are.
Everybody have New Orleans at home, and nobody will have them on the road. You're right.
Right.
Speaking of Patriots 31, Packers 17, if you watch Brady play, and they don't say he's 41 years old, you think he's 28, 30, threw for 294. How about the revitalization of Josh Gordon? 5 catches, 130 yards. He's been that game breaker for them, that deep threat that's opened up the underneath passing game.
He doesn't need revitalized though as a player. He needs revitalized as a person.
He needs a bodyguard.
Or, yes,
know.
the talent's there.
Hey, the Pats, Brady said today, he said, I keep telling everyone I'm going to play to him 45. He said, I feel great. He said, I could play a game tomorrow. And I'm thinking, no wonder he never gets
No,
hit.
he doesn't get hit. And he's smart. If he's going to get hit,
Break down.
he falls
And,
for
and you know, my buddy said that to me too, and I said, well, listen, don't you think those guys block extra hard for him? Did you ever hear of Buffalo's offensive line until OJ got there? Then you started to hear about DeLonglear and
Has a
the
little
other
better names
guys.
come out there, huh?
Right,
McKenzie and them.
Reggie
I get it, I get it, I get
They
it.
started to play block harder. Hey, we got a guy
Well, they
back
have
here
to
who can
believe
run.
in this guy. There can't be a team that believes in their quarterback anymore.
In the history,
I watch his balls when they replay, and it's still that zip is still
Velcro.
there.
It's a Velcro ball. We talked about last week.
And I tell you,
Sticks
the
right
other
there.
thing, they never have to reach back or reach over or slow down. Never.
He throws it low on purpose. He never gets.
Well,
the
he throws
receiver
low
hurt.
on purpose.
So
A
they don't
lot
get hurt.
on those
So they don't
slants.
get hurt.
Yeah.
He throws it down so they get to the ground. And
Our power rankings: the Chiefs 8-1. About Mahomes, this is 375 yards versus the Browns. The Saints 7-1. That was their 7th straight win. The Rams are third, 8-1. They have the Patriots 4th, 7-2. The Steelers 5th, 5-2-1. And here's a dangerous team. Teams better start paying attention to them in the AFC. Houston has won their 6th straight game. They're 6-3 now.
Well, I would never have them ahead of the Chargers. Though. I have the Chargers better.
You know,
than
they
them.
host
I
the
think-
Chargers.
I think Houston has a
Hey,
better defense.
Hey,
That's why I have me
Hey, if things shake out, they'll host the Chargers in the second. 6th Street, 5-4.
On that one.
They'll host them.
I like Houston's defense.
They do have a great front
They
seven.
get the and
Great
they put
front
that
seven.
pressure on the quarterback.
They got a great front seven.
And Watson,
He can make enough
have you
plays.
seen his numbers versus the best in the first 30-some games?
Does better.
Yes.
Top.
Okay.
College football, Pitt got 229 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns from Darren Hall of 41, 275 yards. He was the ACC Player of the Week. Pitt beat number 23 Virginia 23-13. Let me tell you about Darren Hall. He's 5'11", 225, speed and power. He's going to play on Sundays.
He's a Fitch guy, isn't he? For
Yeah.
Fitch?
Kuiper has Olenson rated the 5th running back in the draft.
And he's way better.
And Hall's better than him. So that's all you got to know.
He's bigger,
He's faster.
stronger, and
He's faster.
5'11", 225.
Hey, he played for Fitch over there, and I'd heard about him, but didn't realize.
They've done what the Steelers have done, though. Seriously. Early in the year, they give up so many points. Their defense is playing good now. Their defense is playing
right.
good.
It's their best-
Notre Dame they held down.
Yeah.
Now Duke they didn't.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame they held down, and they held down Virginia.
It's their best game of the year. The best game of the year. Pitt 5-4. They're first place in a coastal.
First place, think
They're
of that.
favored by 2.5 against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech 4-4. Their weakness is against the
Don't
run.
beat them.
3 times they've given up over 40 a game. I looked for Pitt
I
to run
watched
all
them
over
the other
them.
day. Boston College handled them at home.
I know.
Pitt's-
I
Pitt's
think
gonna
Pitt
win
can beat
that.
them.
Yeah.
I think Pitt can beat them.
And then Pitt has Wake and Miami.
I'll probably put the jam.
They'll
Wayne,
beat
yeah.
Wake.
And Miami is 5-4, struggling. They have no offense.
The only thing I think Miami, the fact that Pitt embarrassed them last year when they were having a pretty
Mm-hmm.
good season, they may get a better effort from Miami than they would have normally because Miami has fallen apart.
Let me
No
say this
quarterback.
about
You talking about no quarterback?
no
No
Damn
quarterback.
none.
The Pitt football program, mediocre last 37 years. They haven't finished in the top 10. And then going from Dorset on before that, from 76, look at the running backs they put in the NFL. Dorset, Elliott Walker, Craig Hayward, Curtis Martin, LaShawn McCoy, Darren Lewis, James Conner, and maybe 2 more coming up.
Don't you remember that day we were
know.
down there? Remember we were down there?
I remember.
And they had that big board.
We looked up
They
at
had
it.
23 guys in the NFL, and we
Hall of
did not-
Famers.
But at that time, we
know.
didn't know
So
it.
how can it be 37 years they haven't finished in the top 10? It's just 37 years since they won 10
that
games.
top
That
10
tells
lost
you,
you
that
to
tells you need depth. You
That's
need
lost
that
you
top
to
10, and I'll tell you what, this year, like if you had to say out of league game, let's go get Kent and Buffalo. They're in the top 10.
The other thing, they
go
lost,
get Penn State and Central Florida.
Why is it that they lost to North Carolina, and that one keeps
And that's
back to
every year.
haunt them.
But that's
They never
every year.
beat
You
them.
understand?
They've
Beat
never
them,
beaten
and they're in the top 15 right
they're
now.
lousy.
Yes.
How about number 7, West Virginia, 42, Texas 41. Will Greer, the 33-yard touchdown pass with 16 seconds. Then he runs in for 2. Hats off to Dana Holgerson.
Beat them twice. Did you see that?
Did it twice. Did it twice.
They
Yeah.
ran that slant, and they called one of those
What I like,
cheap
I call
timeouts.
George. George keeps me up to date on a lot of stuff. George, anything else you know about this one? He says, yeah, they made that choice
Twice.
to go for it 5 minutes before that.
Yeah, he
like,
got-
I hate coaches
yeah,
that
yeah.
you go in.
Timeout.
So what should we do?
Yeah, yeah.
He had already told her, he's listen,
Called together.
we're going to score,
Yeah, that's
and we're
right.
going for 2. Doesn't
exactly
that make you feel a lot better as a team? Not
Yes,
running around
yeah.
like your head cut off?
Yeah.
You know.
No. He said, we're going to do it. We're going to do what we always do. We're going to score. And he did it twice. He scored.
Hey, they got out the rollers in the big house and put a spanking
Woo!
on Penn
Did
State,
they?
Michigan 42, Penn
Oh.
State 7. Held the Nittany Lions to 186 total yards and beat them in every phase of the game. Total domination. Next up for Penn State, they dropped to number 21, 6-3. They take on Wisconsin, 6-3. Penn State favored by 8.
Yeah, Wisconsin is the one team I go against all the time. They're not near that. If McSorley's healthy, I'll have Penn State. But
He's not
if he's
healthy.
not though,
No, he's
then
not.
they're not near the team.
Listen, I watched it closely last week. 3rd and something. He slid short of the
Never
stick.
does it.
He never
does that. No.
Hey, Baton Rouge has become Baton Blue. Alabama 29, LSU nothing. What did you learn, LSU? You need to get a quarterback and receivers because Alabama loaded the box as if it was 1912 football before the forward pass was invented.
Well, you can't beat Alabama the way they're playing. They understand this. They're so far.
Florida doesn't have a quarterback. They don't.
Alabama just
Tennessee
loaded.
doesn't
Mississippi
have a
State
quarterback.
and Georgia,
Mississippi-
the only 2.
Yeah, and even Mississippi State, he's been disappointing.
Local college football, Grove City,
Grove
6-3. They've won 5 in a row, ensured a winning season for the first time in
How about the comeback
maybe
they
a
had?
decade. 35-27 over Geneva. Wesley Schools, 142 yards. He has 1,200 on the year. Quarterback Josh East threw for 204 and 2 TDs. And how about wide receiver Cody Gustafson? He's caught 63 for 926 yards and 14 touchdowns. He caught Shippensburg. He caught 13 for 170. Next up, 0-9 Teal.
Sweet.
A win, 7 wins in a season. It's been a long time
Nice
coming.
job,
We
Andrew.
said they'd win 5 or 6. They're going above what we thought. How about that? That's great.
And how about the Rock? 48-7 over Gannon.
Ouch.
Running back Wesley Hills, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. His 4th 200-yard game of the year. Quarterback Roland Rivers, 181. Next up for the Rock, 9-1. They take on undefeated, nationally ranked Westchester in the PSAC championship game Saturday, 1 p.m. at the Rock.
Put your defensive cleats on. If you can hold them in the 20s, they're going. They're going. But they have not been able to do that against the great teams.
And quickly, we finish with this: the Grove City College women's soccer team, 16-3-1. They win the championship in the President's Athletic Conference, first time in 17 years. They start the playoffs against University of Chicago, NCAA Division III. They are led defensively by Seneca Valley grad Claire Coker.
Congratulations, Briggsy.
Yes,
girl.
great job. We have run out of time. We will see you next week.